Welcome back to Bash Bros. Last time you were here, we had the We Rise PPV, which went okay. It went okay. It was by absolutely no means spectacular, but, you know, I learned stuff, which is the fact that we absolutely could not have, you know, anything under 15 minutes, or else this happens. But overall, I was happy with how it went down. It did as good in the end. So news then, in terms of like stuff that's happened since you were last here, not an awful lot in terms of world news. So like WWE hasn't made any big moves, AEW, Impact, nothing has happened there. In terms of us, are we country? No, not a country. Are we company? We've made, well, I've kind of made some attempted, well, not attempted signings. I've made moves. I've made moves. Just to kind of try and bolster our roster a wee bit. It's still quite small. At the end of the day, because we're doing pay-per-appearance contracts, there's no harm. We're small enough that we don't have to offer a downside on a pay-per-appearance contract. So there's no harm in getting a massive amount of people in. So here are the people I've had a wee look at. Sonico. So Sonico, I hired in my previous NPW game, and he turned out really, really well. He was kind of like the upper mid-card guy. Never really got to the world title scene, but he's just solid all round. You know, yeah, just a solid worker. Rick Swan, who is current, as of recording, Impact Champion. Didn't mean to do that. He's good. Like, there's a lot of green there, very few reds and yellows. He's really good. There's absolutely no kind of like overlap with Impact or NWA, who's currently working with, so why not get him in? Carlos Romo. So that's not the one I keep. Come on, Hans, get it together. So he works for Rev Pro now. I know what I've said about Rev Pro before, which is they clash with us too much, but he's 25 and those are his basics already. So once he hits his maturity stage, all this will just, it can only go up. He by the end of my previous NPW game, he was one of the best workers in the world, pretty much. So I'm hoping he will do the same here. Knock on wood. Ken Malmsteen, I think I got that right. European wrestler from Sweden. He's just solid. Like literally, like he's going to be a solid hand. Like, only real weaknesses are kind of up here, like in his actual attributes or his skill areas, but like basics and like just solid. Plus, you know, it's another non-American name in, which is good because we want this to kind of be a predominantly British and European, with the occasional international star company. Oisin Delaney and Charlie Carter, I brought in. They are the NIC as a tag team, just to try and bolster our tag team division. They're both very young. Oisin 23, Charlie is 23 as well. So their stats can only go up. Their stats are not stellar at the minute, but they can only go up, hopefully. But just it's another tag team to have. Once we kind of get enough tag teams in, I'm going to look at introducing the tag team titles, but I don't see a point in doing it when at the minute I think we have like 5 teams. And then the big one is Penta. So he is currently working for AEW and Lucha, but they're both on written contracts. So there's no clash anywhere. You're not on Thursdays for Wanted and not on Saturdays for our pay-per-views. Bar King of Kings for Ray Reyes for AAA. But I'll take that. I'll take one Saturday of the year, no problem. He's just so good. Like, look at all that green. Look at all that green. Oh, he's so good. He will probably be inserted right into the main event scene, like straight away. Plus, it expands our kind of group, our range of styles, I suppose. Like, So far we have technicians, you know, and we have high flyers. We don't really have any lucha. So it'd be nice to kind of have that. But that's really it. So in terms of news, so let's get to the show. Still at Ringside Club, yeah. So we're still at Ringside Club, that's our home away from home. And no backstage incidents. So yeah, we are good to go. So I will cut ahead now to the other side of me booking this week's Wanted. Okay, we're back. We are on the other side of me booking this. So before we launch into this, I have encountered a new problem with our current product. The big one we've been bumping into is obviously we can't have a match go more than go less than 15 minutes, or else it's considered not important and the final rating is then knocked down a notch. On the flip side of that, I don't know if I've said this before, but we have to have two sorts of matches at least in our booking on one show. So we need a storytelling match and we need a steal the show match. The storytelling match, that's not a bother. Doesn't affect us in the slightest. The steal the show match is the problem though, because steal the show means that everyone has to go all out for it. And if you go more than 15 minutes on that, it really exhausts the wrestlers. So I can't make a match go less than 15 minutes to steal the show, but I have to put in a match that steals the show. And there becomes the conundrum. So going forward from now on, my plan is that if I'm going to sign anyone, they have to have at least like 60 stamina, maybe 70, so that they can steal the show in a longer match. So, case in point, I was like, okay, I will make Kenny Williams versus Stevie Boy, two young studs. They of course they can go and steal the show and steal the show for over 15 minutes, no bother. Nah, Stevie Boy couldn't. I was like, right, okay, right, Hero and Storm in the main event. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, they're veterans. They should be able to go ahead and be able to, work it smart and steal the shit. Nah, Storm would have been gassed. So I was like, okay then. And then I picked literally the one other show on the main card. This is before I booked the pre-show. And I was like, oh, okay, right, Grizzled Young Vets vs King of the North. I was half expecting the warning from my road agent to pop up, but no, that should steal the show apparently. There's no one should get gassed in this tag team match. It's going to steal the show. Watch this space, it's going to steal the show. Man, if this continues to be a problem going forward, I may have to change the product, but I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway, let's do the show. So the two pre-show matches are... What? But how? He went 16, he said it could go 15. Oh, what are you doing? Okay. Right, it's fine. I'm okay, I'm fine. This is such a disaster. We are 4 episodes in. Oh my god, right. Anyway, pre-show match. So as I said before, kind of any heel versus heel or face versus face from the P12 we done on the pre-show. This is one of these matches. So Davey Boy and Easton Reese go to a double count-out draw. So my original plan for this was kind of like, they'll like do like that, that overdone spot where like they tackle, people get speared like through the barricade, and I was like, we don't have a barricade. So in my mind, I like to believe that they just spear them through the audience, taking out like 5 or so audience members, and then they get double counted out that way. But that's in my mind. And then the audience can get a free t-shirt or something to make up for the fact that they get speared. But these are just 2 horses brawling, so I want double count out. So kind of keeps them both strong-ish. That's annoying because it's over 15. I actually put it to 16, so Anyway, next match. Yep, again. So Doug Williams vs Jody Fleisch again on the pre-show. like face versus face, so that's why it's in the pre-show. Doug came in with a 52 and Jody with a 42. That's not too bad considering we got the too short warning again. Okay, next. So the opening match was Grizzly Young Vets versus Kings of the North, which went 15, nearly 16 minutes, but apparently that's still too short. And Kid Lycos interfered with a distraction on Kings of the North to keep that feud going, which allowed Grizzly Young Vets to get the win. Zach Gibson got a 50, James Drake got a 45, Bonesaw and 45. Kings of the North are actually really impressing me. I wasn't expecting them to kind of be this good. Like they pretty much kept pace with the Grizzly Young Vets, so absolutely like, fair balls, fair balls to them. Came with a 46, which is not too bad considering the warning. Next, so the Kings of the North just go absolutely ballistic after the match, just destroying everything at ringside until the road agents have to come out and stop them. Main reason for me to do this was 1, to continue the feud, and 2, also Manami Toyota hadn't had a gimmick debut yet, so I just wanted to get that done, so it got adequate. So 52, I'm happy enough. Kenny Williams versus Stevie Boy was a fucking nightmare. What happened here? So Kenny Williams drew with Stevie Boy. This is a draw because Austin Ace came out and attacked both men. Kenny Williams, an in-ring performance of 45. Stevie Boy had 37. There seemed to be lack of flow in the match, which took away from the drama, so both their psychologies weren't high enough for the length of the match, and it was too short. Wow, that sucks. That is so shite. Oh, right, okay, next match. So, afterwards, Ace Austin is in the ring and is just like over Stevie Boy and says, you think I would forget that you attacked me 2 weeks ago with your boys? He goes to do more damage, but then the Filthy Generation come out and save Stevie. 42, it's alright. Anyway, moving on to the main event. Chris Hero beats James Storm in the main event with a rolling elbow. James Storm had an in-ring performance of 58. Sorry, Chris Hero had an in-ring performance of 58. James Storm had an in-ring performance of 48. Came away with a 52. The match was too short still. Right. Okay. Finished the show. So we came with a 51, which is better than our pay-per-view. So we are gradually getting better, but our matches are still too short, and I don't understand how. But overall, we got increased our popularity everywhere, which is what we want. On the news then, have we got anything interesting? We apparently did better than some of the bigger companies with their efforts. That's nice to see. Darren Young is hurt. Okay. Not that much news. Review, we got 1,500 views. Take that, it's grand. Still not really enough to register anything, but I'll take that. Yeah, let's go look at our product then. So, matches less than 15 minutes will not be able to achieve world-class scores, which is fine. Fans expect important matches to be quite lengthy. So does that mean they have to be like 20 odd minutes or something? Because that is... If I make every match 20 minutes, I'm only going to get like 2 matches on the card, because I have to make up for the fact that I need angles as well. So there's 2 ways we can go about fixing this. Either we make the least amount of time a match can go be 20 minutes, which is crazy, because that's like a WWE main event, and then increase our showtime. I wouldn't make it drastic. I think we're currently on an hour. I would maybe bump it up to an hour and a half if YouTube allows it, which is weird because again, YouTube, anyone can upload to it. Or I maybe look at altering our current product. So the East meets West style was done in a way because it's like if you think of Conor McGregor, yes, he's kind of a legitimate athlete with kind of like a big mouth, big personality, which would have been in wrestling terms would have been you know, the in-ring action of Japan with the American gimmicks. But that 15-minute thing is killing us. I don't know, is kind of the main thing. What I will do... Well, I guess you'll have to find out. You're going to have to come back next time. Yeah, leave it on a cliffhanger, Hans. You do that. You have to come back next time and see what we do. But before we wrap up completely, let's have a gander at the P12 standings as they are. So, boom. So, in Block A, we currently have Davey Boy on 1 point, Doug on 6, Easton on 4, Judy on 3, Nathan Cruz on nothing, and Zach Gibson is yet to start. Need to try and get him and James Drake on the go here, otherwise we're going to be waiting for them to play catch up. On Block B then we have Chris Hero on 6, Curtis Axel on 0, Grado 0, James Drake hasn't wrestled yet, James Storm 0, and I feel like I should be on the radio doing this. And Robert Lynch, that's not going to make any sense to anyone who doesn't listen to like 5 Live radio and when they read out the football scores. And Rob Lynch, 3 points. Overall, this is still... We're still in early days. I'm getting worried. I'm getting frustrated. Nah, it's fine. It's only episode 4. So yes, next time on Bash Bros then, continue the P12 tournament, fix our problem with the 15-minute matches, and get booking for our next pay-per-view. So I'll see you next time on Bash Bros.